radio show in the history of radio. The government needs its sugar, and hopefully you've had a sweet, sweet year. I'm Chris Stanley, and
Tuesdays.
I'm going to just go out on a limb here and say no, because most people, when they hear a song, even if they like it, they don't want to hear that song again for quite some time.
Wow.
So
I wonder what that's like. My neurodivergence doesn't understand that.
See, I came from a world where that just doesn't happen, Gail, because it was just radio.
That's
true.
true.
The only thing we had was a big Victrola radio. And the whole family would gather around and we would listen. You know, it could be a comedy with Jack Benny, or The Shadow was kind of a thriller.
You loved a radio play.
Well, Amos and Andy were my favorite.
Yeah.
Because I would say that's exactly how white people are when they're pretending to be black.
But in retrospect, do you feel a bit silly that you guys all thought that there was an alien invasion happening? You didn't understand that it was just a fictional radio play?
Gail, you had to be there at the time, all right? And we weren't swiping, okay?
Yeah.
We used to drink out of a pump. You know what I mean? Like a big
Sure.
Out of a pump. Hoses, that was for rich girls.
Right.
Did the radios have like fast forward and rewind buttons and like pause for like, you know, when you want to get up during
Chris,
your radio program?
You prove there are such a thing as stupid questions, all right?
Congratulations.
These were tube radios. A big tube took place. All right, it is 2 for Tuesday. As promised, we put that video up from Wiki Wachi where Tim Dillon was... I couldn't imagine anyone being wrong about what their mom was like when they were younger, but
No.
I mentioned this yesterday. He had, I think I had done his podcast very early on before it blew up. Mm-hmm. I mean, before he became Tim motherfucking Dillon. And, you know, he wasn't even wearing sunglasses then. And, but so... I don't know. I think it came up that Gail grew up in Florida. And then he said to me that his mom was a mermaid at Wiki Wachi. And she would dress in a mermaid's costume. And then truckers would come in and jack to her while she did her mermaid stuff. No. And I'm like, Tim, you could not be more wrong about this. So, I mean, this was years ago that this happened. And I'm like, because this is a big thing in Florida. The little girls one day want to be mermaids.
100%.
So when I was back in Florida not too long ago, I went out of my way to go to Wiki Wachi just to get a video of this. And here's the funny thing. It's bigger than it ever was, Gail. Like, you would not believe.
I love that.
I don't know if I do, because I did like the fact that there were like underwater vines that they pretended to suck and get their oxygen from. And they don't even bother with that now. They're just sitting there. No, everything is just out in the open, and there's just a breathing tube that they could go to. But also there's so many more of them involved, and there's a whole big Little Mermaid thing that takes place, and the people are videotaping, and it's all just the elderly and then little girls. Like, it's surprising when you get to Florida and see just how old everyone is. You know what I mean? Like, we just have nothing to compare that to.
Yeah. I grew up in Florida. This is where I was born and raised, and I just thought that that's what our planet looked like. That it was it was an elderly planet, and some of us non-elderlies lived amongst them. I thought that they were, you know what I mean? Like, the majority of humans were between like 90 and 98 years old. Like, that's what I thought in my mind.
It's really funny to go to a restaurant, and a nice restaurant, 4 or 5 o'clock, and it's packed. And if you get a table at 7:30, you're eating alone. You know what I mean? You see, like, the servers are looking at their watches. They're starting to put chairs on tables all around.
Yes. Always early bird special in Florida.
Yeah. Early bird special is just life.
Yes.
It isn't special. It isn't even early bird.
I've only been to Fort Lauderdale twice for spring break and once to St. Pete. So I'm not that familiar with all of Florida. But do restaurants straight up close early due to the overwhelming amount of early bird special?
Some will, some won't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're,
Interesting.
But Chris,
the
you're
young
also
the young do live amongst the elders.
yes, 100%. Like that. It's just like you're like it's their world. And we were just living in it. Like they set the time and the pace of the entire state.
But here's the thing, too. It's why you could go down there at 18 and get work, because the elderly don't do any home repairs. They don't mow their lawns. They don't do anything. So you could go down there. And I mean, it's not as cheap as it used to be. It's cheaper. But when I was down there, it was free. Wherever you wanted to live or be, it was pretty much free. And so you could go down there and gig culture. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm not saying you're going to get health care, but you are going to be able to put together a Tuesday here, a Thursday there, and have plenty of time to be at the beach and have plenty of time to get wired.
Oh, that's great. And you get these early bird specials at the same time.
Well, they were, like I would go to the buffets for like a couple of bucks, you know, and it wasn't good food. It was cafeteria food.
But plentiful.
Yeah, it was plentiful and starchy. Starchy as you could believe.
Ooh, filling.
But, no, just so Tim knows, his mom, it was like being a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. I don't know what else to describe this at, but little girls would wait to meet the mermaid.
Yes.
You know, it was a big deal. And it still is. It still is a big deal.
I remember there was a National Geographic that was really pumped a lot, like a lot of fucking promo for it, proving that mermaids were real, and I fell for the fucking commercials. And in the first 5 minutes, I realized, wait a minute, this is all CGI.
You fall for everything, dude.
You do. And this is our conspiracy guy, by the way. This is the one coming to us with facts.
Even where, like, the thing of mermaids comes from, like the myth, because all the sailors had it, it's because stuff would be splashing around. So it really could be a manatee, it could be a dolphin, it could be a seal. But you're out there at night and you're just seeing something in the water and you're like, that looks like a person to me.
You also can understand completely how the the Greek mythology came up with the sirens. If you think about being out on the open ocean and then hearing whale song, of course, they were like, I feel like I hear like women singing out here. Like they were hearing some weird shit and they're like, that can't be good.
Let's go that way.
That's some dark magic.
This is the funny thing about the sirens, because it was still kind of misogynistic. They thought that the mermaids were singing you in and you would follow it into rocks. So it still is like these goddamn bitches. You know what I mean?
Right.
No matter what happened.
They're like, hi, you want to come over? Just kidding. Shipwrecked.
I always like the fact, too, that there were a lot of, like, just personal mythologies, even modern, to guys that lived in Florida who would do such crazy shit. And I remember there was a guy who owned a restaurant, this huge restaurant in Tampa. I don't want to say the name of it. I do know it. I've actually even done gigs there. Like I went and played, I don't know, fucking dating game there and made money and shit like that. But this guy got himself in some kind of problems. I don't know whether it was like tax problems or whatever. And he just took his boat out and then they found the empty boat. And people were like, he fell off the boat. And other people were like, no, he did not fall off the boat. But there were just like, just so many stories about people who held the dice for too long. You know what I mean? Like they got successful, but they just kept going and going until the amount of problems fell on them. But I just found out not too long ago this story I didn't know out of Key West. and it's the legend of Bum Fardo. Bum Fardo
What?
was the person's name. And it's a real guy, and this is a real story. I think this took place in the 70s. And in Key West, he was like the fire chief.
Okay.
Right? So he's the fire chief of Key West. And then there's some sting operation, and he gets busted for having something to do with marijuana coming into Key West and cocaine. Right? So Bum Fardo obviously disappears under some weird circumstances. And then someone said that they saw him in Spain. Other people said he ended up in Costa Rica with a lot of money. But it's just the fact that, first of all, a guy's going through life with the name Bum Fardo.
Incredible.
Which is enough to make him a legend already. And then it's like, hey, man, you don't want to fuck with Bum Fardo, dude.
No.
The guy's a genius.
Now, here's my question. I'm going to assume that Bum was his nickname, but it's starting to feel like Fardo's his real last name.
No, Fardo is definitely the last name.
That's great.
I believe Bum was his first name. I choose to believe that.
It's short for
There's other
Bumford.
dudes named Bum. Like Wade Phillips' dad was Bum Phillips, right? I mean,
That's right,
Bum is
Bum
the
Phillips.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that's a name.
Bum Fardo.
So Bum Fardo, he's the fire chief in Key West, mid-70s. You know, real Jimmy Buffett has mentioned Bum Fardo in songs before.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Bum Fardo in Paradise, I think, is one of his hits.
But the fact that, like, Chris Stanley ends up in Costa Rica just in some shady fucking stuff going down.
It's easy to live down there, man.
Doesn't
Still
it
military.
seem like, with what Ron just told us, we need like a series on Bum Fardo? Like, clearly, that's a show that needs to exist.
Apparently, there is a 7-part podcast if you want to look it up.
Okay.
So, Runty is the one who sent me this story. And, like, to her, the joke was Bum Fardo. Like, isn't this funny?
That's already enough.
A person's name is Bum Fardo. But I went right down the rabbit hole into, like, holy shit, Bum Fardo is the coolest.
Right. Obviously.
And I think, like, he also has an Ecuadorian bloodline or something crazy. Like, everybody in Key West, it's like if New Orleans was 3 blocks. You know what I mean? You put all the same crazy shit there.
Sounds amazing.
It used to be. I mean, I haven't been down in a while, and people complain that, you know, like, everything else, corporate stuff is coming in. And
Sure.
And now the... you know, cruise ships go into Key West. Like, you can do a cruise ship from Tampa down to Key West, and you never even go into the Bahamas. You're just stopping along.
It's just a Key West
Florida stuff. Yeah, it's just a Key West cruise. You know what I mean? I mean, the whole point of a cruise is not where you're going, but how slow you're going there.
You're just crawling there as slow as possible.
Slow as possible.
Boat drinks.
Drinking
You're
well,
out there.
both drinks.
You're having boat drinks. You're looking for mermaids. You know, you're discussing
Buffets.
Bum Fardo with other people.
You guys hear about Bum Fardo?
But, like, look, if we were going to make a Bum Fardo movie, Chris Stanley would have to play the part of Bum Fardo.
I demand it.
Role of a
demand
lifetime.
it.
Even just being the fire chief of Key West, this is
would be
never
wild.
Enough. Yeah.
That would
It's
be
like
wild.
The shit you get in doing that alone would be fucking amazing. Yeah, this guy's a fucking legend.
Bum Fardo, the podcast came out in 2020. It's a 7-episode podcast called The Bum Fardo Story. And then they also say there's a musical by Pamela Stevenson, which...
I wouldn't have gone...
Yeah. What rhymes with Fardo? That's the problem.
I got Blardo? No, that doesn't work.
But that story to me is like the fact that it's such a great story, and it's never even one of the key stories that I've heard.
No.
You know what I mean? There's already so many of them. One of my favorite things about Key West, and I don't know whether it's still like this, but you used to go out to breakfast. Half the time you're eating outside and shit like that, but half the time you're inside. But chickens would just be free to walk around.
They were,
so
yeah.
Stray cats and chickens.
I love that.
Were just walking around your restaurant. Yeah, it's nice unless you're eating a chicken sandwich.
And then you feel a little guilty, like you don't think he knows. And the stray cats are like the polydactyl cats, the six-toed cats.
The Hemingway cat.
The Hemingway cats, and like genetically, they're all ancestors of that, like, whatever that cat passed its genes on. So like a good portion of the stray cats have that extra little mitten toes, so cute looking.
Which is so weird, right?
Yeah.
Because look, I mean, they're on an island, so it's not like they're going to be running into any outside cats.
Exactly.
The other thing about Hemingway's house, it's really great. I mean, it's big, but it's not a mansion. You know what I mean? Like you could walk around, and it's like the most masculine furniture that you've ever seen in your life. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if you could even pick up one of his chairs. You'd have to probably get a forklift. But the other thing is he had a swimming pool when nobody had a swimming pool.
Oh.
But it was a saltwater pool.
Love
I
it.
think they just took buckets from the golf
water.
and just poured it into his pool.
I love that, whatever that style of house is, where it's almost like the wraparound porch at the top and the bottom. It's just so cool looking.
Yeah.
It's just like, and it doesn't play many places. Like you need a jungly atmosphere around that look.
You need to say, I'm going to live half my life outside.
Yeah.
Even when I'm sitting on my couch. And then 2, you're like, this is a place to drink whiskey and smoke cigars.
Right.
Pretty much nonstop.
Such a great look.
It's a fantastic house.
It's a great house,
so
right?
Great.
You think
But see if you
anyone
can
ever-
see the interior, Chris. That's what really always cracks me up. Like, it is no place for a woman.
Right.
The-
It's a lot of
the
dark.
Hemingway, yeah.
If I remember, it's like a lot of dark, heavy woods, and then like animal busts on the walls
Sure.
and shit. Just
Here we go.
like a man lives here.
Yeah. I cut the head off of this thing after I
Yes,
shot
there
it.
it is. Yes.
But yes, it's very Florida, but also it's just like does not have even a slight woman's touch about it.
No.
There's a lot of hard angles on this motherfucker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that he used to write standing up. And
Oh.
I forget what he did. Like when he was writing anything descriptive, he would write longhand. And then when he was doing dialogue, he would type it.
That's super interesting. I wonder what he got out of each experience. You know what I mean? Like why he associated one with the other.
Well, obviously he feels like one, you need to go deep. Look at the bed. And look at there's 2 cup chairs. So
Why
2
are
of
there
you
2
fellas
cup
can come
chairs?
over. Yeah,
He was
because he's
down.
going to be fucking 2 women, So both their men have to be there.
That's
But
good.
Yeah, and there's that outdoors that you
Oh,
like. Gail.
so cool.
Gorgeous.
Look at how neat that looks with the outdoor fans like over top. Jeez. It's really cool.
He did have a style. You know what I mean?
He did.
honestly
Absolutely.
did have a style. And, he wasn't into the daddy thing, but everyone had to call him Papa. No matter who
Right.
they were, men or women, had to call
Okay.
him Papa.
Sure.
I like it when you call me Big Papa.
That was a Hemingway reference this entire
That
time.
was a Hemingway, yeah. That's where it all came from. Gail, I know you always have problems with Dax Shepard,
I do.
but I feel like it needs to stop.
No, it doesn't, because here's why. So I see that he's in the news. Ryan sends me a DM from a listener, because now at this point everyone knows my feelings about Dax Shepard, right? So this is a problem. Also, when you put out your love, people go, "Oh, I thought of you," and then they send it to you. But if you put out your hate, they're going to remind you of the things that you hate as well. Dax Shepard revealed that he hated Eric Dane when he met him. Eric Dane, who just passed, by the way, and everyone was so upset. And he goes on his podcast like, I just want everyone to know I hated Eric Dane when I met him in AA. And everyone is like, hey, man, the anonymous part. Like, not only is the guy gone and he has family who, are grieving him right now, but he also messed up the whole anonymous part. That people are like, why does he have to make everything about him? Everything has to be the Dax show, even though it's so unrelated to him.
Look, here's the thing. All you have to do is look at his eyes. No matter if he's bragging or bitching, the pain in that man's eyes.
Yeah, he's tortured.
He's been through a lot. And the fact that his wife is gorgeous and talented and successful, it's not easy for Dax.
But why? Like, you have a lovely lady and a lovely little family, but instead you're just like, you have to just torture the rest of us? I just don't really understand it. And it's just like, I feel like everything I know about Dax Shepard is against my will. Like, it just feels like he never is not headline worthy for some reason, and it makes me so mad. But how do you feel about just saying, because look, I know that you have talked about your experience, but you would never give out someone else's name unless that person was openly talking to you about a meeting.
Right. I mean, yeah, but I also don't sit around and try to police other people. You know what I mean? Like, the whole thing has gotten much different. In terms of people talking about it. Nobody used to talk about it. And now most people are like, I got this 30-day chip and I'm going on TV and talking about how great my life is. And please give up alcohol, everybody else, so you can live like me. But, the thing of like someone dies and then you tell a negative story. I mean, I am still, if I find a paperclip or even a nail, I will dig it into my leg. Because of me trying to bond with Earl Douglas and bringing up Davy Lopes passing away. And Earl immediately went to a single at-bat this guy had in 1978 to just then say the rest of his life the guy's a fucking showboat because he cheered for his own home run when he was trying to rally his team. So I understand that people don't know how to behave around death. I get it. Right. But I do feel, and this is never going to give you any ease, Gail, but I feel like I see that the guy's in pain. And he's going to bring it up, but that doesn't mean that you have to be in charge of his pain.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, he has to figure that out himself. Now, personally, I love Dax. When Punk came out, he was my only favorite part of Punk because I didn't know him, and every time he was like playing a redneck, and it was 100% funny all the time.
He also was good in Idiocracy as like an idiot, not a redneck, but just like a general moron fucking from the future. Like, he was good.
Yes, he does do acting, but I haven't really followed his acting career in the same thing as I followed that one season of Punk. But just the idea that he told people he was going to be living here for a while in the home that they had, it was always funny to me. But no, there's people that annoy you in life. Chris doesn't get annoyed by people, but a lot, he doesn't have that thing that you have, like an enemy who doesn't know about it. Yeah.
Yes, a one-sided beef, which, you know how we talked last week about the way a crush can make you feel? I feel the same about when you get someone you're like, I truly hate that guy. And it's like this little thing that is just yours to keep, and it can be fun for you.
I know this. Chris has always been jealous and angry with Eastside Dave. And Chris tried to steal the Shizer list from him.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Chris had a puppet named Oldie, who
that puppet.
was old for a puppet.
I have plenty of beefs. Look, Andy Richter, Christina Ricci, Ryan Reynolds. The list can keep on going.
Wait,
all
what
right?
is your
these-
Christina Ricci
Yeah,
thing?
well, there's nothing
She
to dislike.
ignored me on fucking, hold on, 6th Avenue and 11th Street about 20 years ago when I said, hey, what up, Christina Ricci. Didn't even make eye contact.
Did you think that
At
the
least
cross
Richter-
streets would make it that we would feel like, oh, okay, I understand your beef now?
And she was walking east.
Can I just bring this up to you, Chris?
Yes.
She's not a large person. She's a tiny little thing. She's
Yes.
had stalkers. And I think the last thing she wants to do is let strange drug addict alcoholics have
Probably
her. I'm going where you were 20 years ago, not now. Now you're just alcoholic. But I don't think she probably wants to give her full attention
Yes.
to a potential stalker because they get confused.
They
You know-
they can, and too much friendliness can do that to a man. They'll go, "What does this mean about us? What are we now?"
Look, maybe, was I not expressing empathy towards Christina Ricci 20 years ago? Look, Ron, I'm seeing all your points are valid. Yet she should be able to see into me that I'm of pure of heart and was just a fan. You know what I mean?
Dude,
Like,
the first time I met you, you jumped out of the darkness at me and you scared me.
but you were very kind to me, which was nice.
Well, again, I'm not a cute girl. So, you know what I mean? I didn't think that you would rape me. I just
Right.
merely thought I'm running into a New York insane person.
All these years later, Ron.
Look where it
All
got
these
us.
years later is right. I couldn't shake you after
Yes.
showing you just a little
He
bit
is
of
a
friendliness.
stalker. Look at this. Could have been Chris with Christina Ricci.
Right. She'd be the one getting weird fucking texts 3 o'clock in the morning of some conspiracy theory.
Christina, have you heard about the Strait of Hormuz?
He gets wound up, dude.
He does.
Our Chrissy gets wound up at night. I worry for him. I really do.
I've kind of noticed sometimes you'll send something on the group chat or whatever, and I'll just tell you in detail about all the things I've read about it, and they're long
Yes.
texts, and then I feel bad.
Yeah.
Like I can't stop myself in the moment. Like I gotta tell
No,
them
I
what the
know.
real shit is.
I know. And I'll go like this to Gail's mom. Oh, it's just Chris.
Don't
What
worry.
is this? Is something wrong? You know, you start hearing a bunch of texts going off every 2 minutes for fucking, 3 o'clock in the morning.
As
You think
everyone's
that
saying.
there's trouble in the mines.
Don't worry, I'm on top of it though. I'm monitoring the situation.
We don't need you to, though. Like, we need you to get your rest. Like, that's what I worry, is that he thinks if he doesn't stay on top of these stories, everything's going
Right.
to fall apart.
And it probably will, unless he takes care of it. It probably will. But he's got
Thank
his
you,
own
Ron.
news network over there. And do you notice Earl never got around to apologizing on the Davy Lopes
No,
thing?
he was
Which,
very
I
quiet
did-
when
I
you
think
mentioned the
he-
story.
yeah, I think he has no idea how distasteful it sounds to attack the recently passed away.
No, it's not a
You
good
know,
look.
the recently passed away. Gail, we've been talking about your new dog and the way this. I'm not saying your dog is dumb, but there is a naiveness
Yes, she's a baby.
to her face. She is a baby,
Yeah.
and yet she wants to know. But when you got that money mat and you brought it into your house, and I don't know whether, I mean, the joy and immediate ownership that this dog.
Yes. And like the thing about the muddy mat too is like it's a mat, right? So it's for like the door. And she was just like, this is my muddy mat. Like she was so excited. She loves the texture of it so much. It makes sense that dogs would be like walking across it, wiping their feet, because she just wants to be on it 24/7.
Right.
Like she wants it as her dog bed.
And you actually saw her like trying to wash her paws before when you first brought her in.
I
And she's-
couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's from a muddy, war-torn part of the world.
Yes, she is. And like it was so cute and thoughtful that she thought maybe I'll use my water dish to wash my paws. But guess what? That doesn't work as well as a muddy mat. Okay.
So cute.
You've probably seen videos, commercials for muddy mats on TV or online and thought, those can't really work that well. Well, guess what? They do. I absolutely love my muddy mats.
Only Muddy Mat has thousands of advanced ultra soft microfibers that are 5 times more absorbent than ordinary floor mats, trapping dirt and water and protecting your floors.
I use them everywhere, by every door, under my pet's food dish, in the kitchen to catch spills. I even have one as a bath mat. And the best part, they're 100% machine washable.
If you hate dirty floors, you're going to love Muddy Mats. Trust me, I love them. Our dog loves them, and I can't recommend them enough.
Right now, get a free medium muddy mat with your order of 2 or more mats by buymuddymat.com.
This offer is only available at buymuddymat.com. That's B-U-Y, muddy, M-A-T.com.
Don't wait. Take my advice. Get a free muddy mat with your order of 2 or more mats only at buymuddymat.com.
Faction Talk 103. It's the Bennington Show. Faction Talk 103. It's the Bennington Show.
Bennington is back. It's Tuesday, and I would like to give you a little topic that was sent to us via Instagram, sent to my DMs from Michael. So Michael's so sweet, by the way. He wrote, I don't have any medical advice or any nutrition tips to help out your dad, but I do have a topic that I think would be fun. So I think that's already the sweetest ever, because you know what? That is helpful.
It's like
that
an
is
antibiotic.
helpful. Yes. So he said, Michael said, if you can send video camera back in any time to get videos, evidence, gather information of any unsolved true crime, you're able to be a fly in the wall and gather evidence so you can come back and give the actual solution to this.
Let's just play around with his premise to begin with. I have a time machine, and I'm just going to stick a video camera in there, hope it goes to the correct place, and then have that video camera come back and then watch it. All right, so obviously, I mean, you're crazy if you don't say Kennedy. It's almost impossible not to say Kennedy. So I don't want to use a presidential thing or a conspiracy theory on that.
Okay.
Right.
And I'll just say the Zodiac murders.
It's a good one.
The Zodiac. Because I'll tell you what, even when you watch the Zodiac movie, and it's great, you're annoyed at the end of it because you get nothing.
Yes. And I feel like just being like, hey, maybe we have a DNA match of somebody who might have been the cousin of the killer. I just don't feel like that's enough. It's not enough for us to feel satiated, and there was no justice.
No, there was no justice. All the people who investigated, their lives were kind of fucked up from it. But that also could be a thing that once you get older, you look back and you're like, my life is kind of fucked up. I didn't do all the things I wanted to do. And this one just happens to do with Zodiac. But the same thing could happen if you were a spot welder. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just like, God damn it. I did all that spot welding, and why? Who gives a shit now?
Chris, do you have a true crime that you would want to go back and gather all the evidence and come here in present day and be like, I have the answer?
I'm heading back to merry old jolly England Industrial Revolution, and I'm going to put to bed for once and for all the goddamn Jack the Ripper. I'm finding this dude. I'm going to have
But then, like,
VHS
here's my
camera
problem
on me.
with this. And then what? You know what I mean? Like, then we were like, here's the man who
Right.
did it. Like, I feel like I still won't feel good about it.
Then I'm coming back. I'm saying, hey, everyone, this was Jack. His name was.
Can you Can you get the killer and then bring him to present day to be prosecuted? Because if that's possible, Michael, in the setup that you gave us, we are time travelers.
I did see that movie, and it was pretty goddamn scary when Jack the Ripper came to present day.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think of the name of that movie. It was like somebody was chasing him, like Jules Verne chased him through space.
Yeah.
Did Jules Verne write The Time Machine? Was that his?
Yeah, I think he did Time Machine and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
But nobody cares about that one, Chris.
Yeah, that sounds like for dorks.
if you could take a time machine and go 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea at
No,
any time.
I wouldn't. Oh. You know I wouldn't,
See,
Chris.
derail. This is how we get derailed.
I have another one that just occurred to me.
No, you did plenty. You did.
If we deem it necessary after I give my answer, we will go back to you. But please let us decide. Okay. So I would like to go back in time to jolly old 2003. Okay, and I would like to solve the Madeleine McCann kidnapping. This is the young British girl who ended up, her family was vacationing in Portugal. And I was so wrapped up in this, so sick to my stomach of the disappearance of this little girl. We never have had answers. Yes, they've made documentaries. Some people accuse the parents. They thought she was cold. They were cold. They're also British, by the way. So I don't, you know what I mean? Like throw that out there.
Naturally cold.
They're cold.
I don't even think I remember this crime.
Okay.
I remember the one from the island. What was the one down in like...
with Vandersloot.
Vandersloot Island?
No, Aruba. But the dude Vandersloot.
Yes, it was in Aruba. Yeah, it was in Aruba. By the way,
and this was also a kidnapping?
Yeah. No, it was just a murder on the beach after a nightclub night. Here's the thing, though. Chris, completely wrong about Jules Verne. It was H.G. Wells.
Damn.
And
H.G. Wells.
And the movie was called Time After Time. Written by Cyndi Lauper.
Oh my God. It must be good then. The thing about the Madeleine McCann disappearance, by the way, is that people, and I probably should go look into this, but people feel like there's an Epstein connection, and that's only like a new kind of conspiracy. And they swear that like her parents knew Ghislaine, and not necessarily that the parents were in on it, but like that this little girl might have been targeted. And so I feel like and here's the other weird thing. One thing that we did have is like a suspicious woman, like a drawing of a woman who was like around the area at the time. And if you look at the side by side, it does look like Ghislaine. It absolutely looks like her.
Again, I'm just going to say this. Okay, so we get nothing out of any of this, Michael. And this is my problem with these true crime conspiracies. It goes on throughout your life. And you could be some kind of a red string maniac, you know, in your garage with all this shit there. And you get nothing out of it. And then the people that are, kind of being amateur detectives are yelling out Jules Verne and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Of course.
And it just gets more and more annoying.
Can I throw out my...
Yes.
What if we go back and fucking track DB Cooper down, get the money, dime him out, and we all get like 300.
I thought we all
like
that
much money.
No, it's like not even adjusted for inflation. Does it seem like it was worth the thing that he did? And I don't think that parachute.
Right. I wouldn't want to be one of the people who busted DB Cooper.
I thought we liked him.
Yes.
Damn it.
Oh, except for if you're Chris and you're one of those fucking cop sluts that hangs around trying to pick up cops at night.
Why do you want him to serve time for his crime? Like, who cares? What did he just steal? A suitcase full of money or something?
Yeah,
who cares?
Full of cash,
He didn't fucking hurt a single person. He jumped out of an airplane, jet plane.
He probably didn't survive it, is what I feel like. I
That's
don't know.
what people say, and that's why this is another annoying one.
You know what?
And
Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
I want to know just
Time
that
machine.
to live.
Time machine videotape. Let's go.
All right, he had 200K on him. That's fucking nothing, actually. It's fucking...
Yes, that's what we're saying to you.
Yeah, like even like the risk really wasn't worth it. No. It really wasn't.
He was hoping to make it a year and a half.
Spend that between jumping out of the plane and landing.
Do you feel like the John Benet Ramsey case is really needs like an answer after all this time? Like it's too weird that it never got solved.
We're never going to get one.
No,
we're never going to get one.
Well,
you know who's, and that sounds like the latest one we had with the Today Show mom. You know what I mean? We're never going to know.
God, I know.
We're never going to know.
We're never going to have answers.
And now she's back at work. And did you ever hear this story? This kind of made me sick to my stomach. So she's going to come back and do an interview. And so they pick her old partner, the one that used to work at Sirius.
Hoda,
to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, her new partner is kicking up shit because he wasn't the one to interview her.
Oh,
could you imagine?
I know. I don't think that's appropriate.
And he was like, I'm the person that's in there now. This is a chance for us to cement ourselves as a real team. And that's why you don't want to work in TV, because you're fucking nuts if you work in TV. Because every TV star, news star, knows that it's the format, not them. It's the platform, not them. And they all just live with a constant paranoia that this could fucking disappear at any second. And to say something like this when about, you know, when the important thing is your friend's mom is gone.
Yes.
And you're like, well, why aren't I the person getting FaceTime?
Yeah, that's not comfortable.
I can't even watch that Today Show.
Now I feel like it's I literally, because there's too many stories, but this happened just a few months ago, and I feel like it was something that came out Epstein file related, and this particular reporter was super pissed because she was like, now this is coming out, but we had this story and it got buried, and this is unreal. And like the way she was speaking about it, people are like, I feel like what you're talking about is getting scooped on your story and not necessarily this thing coming to light or justice. But she's like, I should be getting credit for this story. I had it months ago.
You know who I hate? The people like, I have this major story about corruption in the government, and you will hear all about it when my book comes out in 6 months. You're like, just fucking tell me now.
Oh,
the
yeah.
job is to get the news out, to break the news, not sell books.
I'm going to be honest.
That's how naive you are, Chris. That's how naive you are.
I actually even feel that about like teasing news stories that's coming up later. Sometimes they seem so important. I was like, this is a break-in story, or else you're making it up. Like, I literally remember watching this like many years ago, and it's like, you know, like consumer safety stuff.
Yeah,
kind of thing. And it was just like, is your child's bed a death trap? More at 11. And it's like, they're already in the bed. Tell me now. Like, literally tell me now. Like, should I move them to the couch? Just tell me now. And I was like, more at 11? You know what time kids' bedtime is. I was like, that's so fucked up.
When you're watching 11, you're like, I guess they're in a death trap in there.
Kids? Go!
God damn it. You're sitting there looking up like the exact like number of like the product information number of your kid's bed at 11 p.m. Like shit. I wish they would have told me at 8.
Does it still have the tag on it?
Yeah. You're reading the receipt from the delivery that you just done.
What have I done?
It's like, but it's really on them for telling us so late at night.
I wish at 11, I wish I could have Michael's time machine so I could put a video camera in there. I mean, can I tell you something? Michael is clinically insane.
He's lost.
Wait, you know what I just thought of when I just said kids bedtime? Chris Stanley, a only child. You never experienced a bunk bed, did you? It never
Not
came
until
up.
college.
Can I give you a blind side, Gail? He never experienced a bed. He never had a bed till he went to college. Any
Real.
kind of bed.
Yeah.
He slept on a couch next to his grandmother.
And
Next to my
in
grandmother.
college, were you top bunk or bottom bunk?
Oh, I was a bottom boy. I was afraid to go. I was afraid to fall off the top.
You top from the bottom. I know that.
He couldn't climb into a top.
By the way, my boyfriend who went to SUNY Purchase, so same setup of bunk beds, was in a converted triple. A room that was meant for two, by the way, and that wasn't enough room anyway. But they were like, we'll give you a discount if you go 3 boys to a room on this, right? So it was seriously like prison status in there. And because of the layering of the bunks, his bunk was so high that you couldn't sit up. You had to like army crawl into bed, and And sometimes he would forget and wake up in the night and smash his head on the cement ceiling.
Oh my God. Now, here's the thing. Those things you will only do when you're young. Could you imagine if Jim said, guys, we're planning a trip and you will be assigned a roommate when you get to the destination? Because that happens to people.
Yes, of course.
I think it was only a few years ago before they stopped making people share a hotel room when you were in spring training or training camp for the NFL. They would just say, this is my bunk bed. Who fucking could live like that?
You know what? Not to bring it back to my favorite show, Heated Rivalry, but this was something that came up where not every time, but very often in the show, these hockey players who are in the NHL, but they don't call it the NHL, are bunking with each other like 2 players to a hotel room. And then it had me thinking, is this common across the board for all sports, or is it just hockey is a little, okay, so you're going to have a roommate.
It was like that. Now, there's more money in sport than there used to be.
Right.
And they're stopping that. But, the whole thing about Brian's song, right, which was Gil Sayers and Brian Piccolo, and I guess this was in the 60s, they were the first roommates that were one was black and one was white, so they were already famous for hey, he's gonna bunk up with a black guy.
Wow,
that kind of makes him black.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were already being talked about
him?
And then Brian Piccolo was like, no, he's a fucking great guy. I get along with him as a person.
I like him as a human being.
But can you imagine, even in this stupid Born to Bowl, they go in and they bunk with each other, and then they might be going head to head in the big tournament.
That's wild.
But in the morning, you're you wake up and the guy's over there fucking snoring and farting and shit, and you're trying not to wake him up when you're putting your pants on. Fucking nightmare. There was a weird thing in that TV show too. So they're going to the big thing in Reno. They have to be in Reno, Nevada for a month.
A month?
And this is a casino town, right? And they're like, shit, Reno for a month. There is literally nothing to do here. They're saying there's nothing to do in a town with casinos. This is how off-brand Reno is. And then that made me realize every time I see something with Reno in it, it's a fucking ghost town. I know nothing about Reno other than nobody seems to be there.
I know that, and isn't prostitution legal in Reno, or is it outside Reno? I think
all Nevada has some kind of
they have
loose
some kind.
prostitution things. But it's a beautiful place where it's set up, and it's not far from LA and everything. But for some reason, this thing is like the Atlantic City of the fucking West, and I don't know
So
why.
interesting. And yeah, I feel like my knowledge of Reno is like very, like, it sounds like a made up place, really.
Yeah.
And I actually, come to think of it, I don't know anyone who's just like born and raised in Reno. Like, I've never had a friend who's like, I'm from there, to even give me an inside perspective.
Somebody weird was born and raised there. I can't think of it, but it was like a female athlete. Just go to Reno on the wiki and then go to notable people and the wiki page, Chris.
Yes.
You don't have to put it up. Just read it to us.
All right, so I'm seeing Colin Kaepernick.
Yes, Colin Kaepernick
Wow.
is one, and then there's a second.
Dawn Wells from Marianne from Gilligan's Island.
Marianne from Gilligan's Island. Now, Reno must have been like a totally different place for her. Though.
Yeah, of
You know what I mean?
course.
But because
school
now
Reno.
it's like, I don't even know why. Like, why don't they get the same acts that play Vegas? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you'd be
Maybe
like, I
because-
did Vegas, and then of course, then we hit Reno
Yeah.
after.
I think all the casino. I mean, I've even heard of a casino being built in Reno. I don't know, since the first ones were built in Reno. When you hear the Strip, there's constantly giant new super casinos going up.
Well, yeah, of course. The Strip is still fucking in some bubble before it fucking is destroyed. But Reno had already happened for it. But like, here's the thing: like, they used to call it the biggest little city in the world, which meant is like there's a lot of shit happening here.
Right. We're a small
But
town,
no.
but we got big city dreams.
Yeah, I like that. That could be what they put up there. You know,
What
we
is
got
it?
big city loose fucking slots.
What does it look like there? Like, does it also, much like Vegas, like little oasis in the middle of the desert kind of look, like
I think it does. There was a
surrounded by
mo-
red rock?
Yeah, there was like a crime movie shot there. I can't think of what it was. Like maybe So Many Aces or something. Where
Smoking
they had
Aces.
yeah, I think it might have been Smoking Aces was shot there, where there would be all these stars, but the stars would be getting killed one at a time. And again, if you go back and watch that movie, it's fucking dead as fucking Disney. You know, in the wintertime.
I'm looking at some aerial shots of Reno, and I feel like it's kind of cool looking. Like, it's pretty
Beautiful.
weird.
It's in a beautiful area.
Yeah.
But why hasn't it worked? That's the big problem for Dawn Wells.
I gotta get.
By the way, Kaepernick's making some kind of comeback book or something too, or documentary.
Is
And I'm like, who gives a fuck now?
Yeah.
the time is? It's like it's a ton of time has passed, man.
Yeah, a lot of time has passed, and we've got a lot going on. Like, we'd love to hear from you, like, peripherally, but I don't know if we're going to be able to give you full attention.
How's this for an idea? We make a Colin Kaepernick biopic, right?
Okay.
Okay.
And it stars the person most like him, Earl Douglas. Because Kaepernick won't say what he wants, and then he won't make a decision. And, you know, everyone's around him going, dude, maybe you're gay. You know what I mean? Why don't you try being gay? And he's like, yeah, I will. But then he doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, why don't you go to the Canada and play? Yeah, maybe I will. And then you don't hear back from him again.
Right.
No, it should be called "Oh Captain, My Kaepernick."
No,
I
it
mean,
shouldn't.
I know you like a title, but I don't think that one works.
I don't think that's helping anything.
No cap or Nick. Like kids say,
That's
no cap.
better.
For the kids,
That's
yeah.
better. But then it sounds like you're anti-Kaepernick, and it's just a racist movie.
He is a racist, though.
Not a racist for the last time.
No, but I mean, against blacks, you are.
No,
Yes.
against
And
none.
you know what? That kind of talk, you're not going to be welcome in Reno. Actually, I don't know the politics of Reno. I really don't. I don't know
All right.
anything about it. I've just stated that.
All right, here's a surprising thing. They got their name from their founder, Big Janet Reno. And
Janet
able to-
Reno.
she was able to climb up into the high country when no one else could make it.
You know what? You know what this tells me? We got to get to Reno, dudes. Like, if we could all fly out to Reno, do maybe like a live Bennington show from Reno. and then like finally the three of us could just like really explore the place that we've had so many questions about all these years.
So
here's what I feel like is going to happen when you go there. You go to play blackjack, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as you sit down and you say how many chips you want, the girl goes, "Excuse me, I better get my manager." Look, here's the promo thing. Look how empty it is in the promo.
There's no one there. This looks like 28 days later.
Fucking scary as shit.
It's nighttime in Reno.
Chris just showed something, and I just found out they have their own mini sphere, but it looked like it wasn't turned on. Like, what is that dome in the beginning?
Theirs is actually a Wawa.
Okay,
look,
cool.
All right, look how few hotels and how far away they are from each other. Like,
Good God.
And it's empty.
This looks made up. This is like, if you showed me this, look at this town in North Korea. They like to pretend is a fucking active city.
Not only is there no people on the street, there's no cars. I've seen 2 cars in the last 5 minutes. It's the
Like,
fucking casino area.
It's literally an aerial drone shot, and you see 2 cars driving. That's it. Oh my God, look at the parking garage. There's barely any cars in it. There's
And then,
whole
look,
floors that are empty.
There's a huge building called Circus. That's the last time they built.
That's
when
cool.
Circus was a thing.
There's no lights on in the casino floors, dude. There's no one checked in anywhere. What is this shit?
Their number 1 casino in Reno is called Zombieland.
Perfect. How far is the drive from Vegas to Reno? Like
15 minutes.
Whoa.
Okay, people should really be hanging there then.
No, it's a pretty good drive because it's up in the northern part of the state.
Yeah, because I saw some of those like those shots of like the city. It's like White Cat Mountains in the background sometimes too.
Yes.
What a cool, weird place with no one
It's a
living
weird, fucking spooky thing that must have felt like a great idea when it happened.
They must have been fucking so juiced for this Vegas too, essentially.
Dude.
And now,
Yeah.
I just looked. It's like a 7-hour drive.
I'm looking at 8.5 hours with traffic, Gail.
Well,
What traffic?
I was saying as the crow flies, Chris. I mean, I wasn't sitting here getting involved with Vegas. Look, there's no traffic in Reno. We know that. It's definitely Vegas's fault.
It's all strip traffic. It's terrible.
Chris is always looking for a place for a disagreement. Doesn't matter
Always,
how
yeah.
small.
Naturally, Gail. Looks like it's going to take us about 8.5 hours.
You know what, Poindexter? Give it a fucking break, man. We just have to get close. We don't have to be exact.
Fucking Burning Man has more people in it than the city of Reno. This is ridiculous.
Well, for one weekend, yes.
Yeah.
Man,
The rest of the time, they're tied.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I got to get there, though. Like, I really do.
There's no point anymore.
I think there is.
I would love to put a video camera in a time machine and see the 2 fuckheads that came up with this is a good idea.
Some rich nerd in fucking California. It's like, I think everyone should just do drugs in the desert.
They don't even try to pivot. You know what I mean?
No.
I just kind of feel like we need to get there and maybe just look up what the theater space is like in Circus, so we could figure out if we could do a good live show from there.
You kidding me? It'll just be the 3 of us, so don't worry about it.
No one can even get into the city. It's like the siege.
I mean, I wish I could go in there and talk to the mayor and like, let's make a couple of moves. What if we just start and call ourselves the white supremacist capital of America? We'll probably get at some people.
Malicious welcome.
How about we just have a fucking weekend of indoor fireworks and just let people throw firecrackers all around the casino?
All right, the mayor's Hillary Sheev, so I'm gonna see if I can't find a contact for her.
But you know what's weird is when you showed me that circus, it looked to me. I thought it reminded me of the one in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, but that's supposed to be Vegas.
Yes, but that's the same company.
Yeah,
like Circus was an old fucking casino.
I see.
In Vegas, And then I guess someone said, hey, we should have a circus here. And there never was another casino to put them out of business.
That's fascinating. So, like, Circus, low end of the casinos, and they're like, our star casino, Circus in Reno. Gotcha.
They did have a time machine that they went back to see if they could fix it, but Biff just used that opportunity to steal a sports book.
That's not great. And that only benefits him, you know? Yeah. I don't even think he's interested in solving any true crime.
None at all. You're just trying to bang Marty's mom.
I don't know. I feel like I find betting so confusing. Even if I had that book, I still feel like I'd fuck it up and not be able to win the money.
You just see who won the Super Bowl whatever year.
Yeah, but like, I'd still be worried about the risk because I'd be sitting there going, yeah, but did I change the timeline? So I wouldn't be putting a lot down. I just don't think I could turn it into money as well.
I'd go big. I would fucking go big. Because then what would my problem be? I'll just do it again tomorrow.
Exactly. Because you got
all right, that dome that you saw, Gail, is in a massive LED dome called Fleischmann's Planetarium. So
it's a planetarium?
They're basically doing a thing in there, and they book musicians to come in and play, but only cover bands. So they never they don't have the budget to get outside of a tribute band.
They actually follow the same schedule. So there'll be like a U2 tribute band when U2 played.
But they get 2U.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they actually have a Van Halen show where the lead singer can do both David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar.
Holy
you know what I mean?
He does have talent.
Yeah, but they never do the more than words guy. They just don't even bother.
What's the point?
Do you see David Lee Roth showed up at Coachella during somebody's set?
I didn't see that.
Yeah. He's got a whole naked cowgirl thing going these days. I don't know what's going on with him.
He did jump with someone who I've never heard of before, Teddy Swims, who looks like Jelly
Teddy
Roll.
Swims. Yeah, he's a big guy. People love him.
Man,
a lot of bands rock, but Teddy Swims. That's what they're...
This is just a different Jelly Roll, by the way. I can't believe you're right. It's a whole new Jelly Roll we have.
It's a Jelly Roll that didn't sell out.
Yes.
Right.
Didn't get on that Zempic. Yeah,
people love the Jelly Roll.
Yeah, they do. I feel like Swims is a weird name to just pick for yourself because just like that's not a surname. Like I've never heard of a Swims. Is that a thing?
Go with Swings. Do you call yourself Top? What was it? Top Jimmy Swings? Wasn't that one of Van Halen's big hits?
That's perfect. Swims. Yeah. I just feel like, what am I looking at here?
Especially when it's a guy who looks like he doesn't swim at all.
He doesn't look like a swimmer.
Floats might be a better name for him.
And those shorts are a little high on old Teddy Swims. That might be a onesie.
It's not so much the shorts length because I appreciate the length. I'm just like I don't feel like that like baby blue color matched with the black boot is working for me. It's like we're spring up top but like winter down bottom. I'm confused.
I'll just say it. I think he fucking pwned. I think he just fucking took over Coachella this year.
He won Coachella.
Yeah. Everybody else can go home. Mm-hmm. Does anybody besides the Kardashians still go to Coachella? I think they're the only ones there.
Yeah, it was like one of those things that leading up, people are like, oh, are we still excited to like see the celebrity sightings at Coachella? Because that used to be a very big thing where you'd be like, oh my God, here are like the top hot young celebrities. And I just don't feel like it has the same.
And they would always be there for Lana Del Rey. I don't know who else they stayed for, but all the young pretty girls would go to Lana Del Rey.
Thank you so much for bringing up Lana Del Rey.
Oh, you're welcome.
I have a something that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm not going to name any names because it's supposed to be a safe space and I'm supposed to protect the innocent. But I'm in a conversation with several people, and the topic of a Lana Del Rey song came on, and I go, "Oh my God, this is perfect because the weather's starting to turn and we're about to get into Lana Del Rey season." Okay. I have a certain season that like she reigns supreme over.
Everybody does. Summer.
But it's yes. It's like as the weather gets warmer, she's a summertime listen always.
Mm-hmm.
And this person says, "I hate Lana Del Rey," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like I feel like I've known you a long time. Like I didn't know this about you. Then someone else chimes in, "I too hate Lana Del Rey." Then a third says, "I really don't care for her." Okay, so. I'm trying to just take a breath because I'm like, people are allowed to have their own opinions, but I'm getting heated about it because I love her. I truly love her. And I think she's such a unique person. And I get it. She's not for everyone, but she's unique. And I appreciate that. I start to kind of get into it and I realize that people have a problem with the fact that she's a lyricist. She writes lyrics. Sometimes those lyrics are weird, but it's poetry, right? Like she is very poetic. And sometimes that jives with you and sometimes it doesn't. And I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. People hate when somebody take an artistic risk with lyrics more than if they were just like run of the mill, nothing pop lyrics. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like if you take a risk, then people are like, I don't like it. But if you just had a song and you were just like, I missed you and I wish that you were here and da-da-da-da. And they were like, yeah, I love that. Okay. Like, it's
Here's
safe.
another thing you're leaving out of this, Gail, because I was there since the beginning with Lana Del Rey, and I met her when she was a little girl. There's always been slut shaming with her. And who has a problem with slut shaming? A lot of other women.
Okay.
Not just men.
This is interesting.
But a lot of women who don't like the idea that there's women out there, doing their thing.
Here's the thing about her too. So, like, because it's kind of peculiar because there's not an artist who's a woman who doesn't like sex sells with all types of art forms.
Of course.
But there's something about her specifically that I feel like she's always had this like strange identity crisis where she'll be like, I'm into this thing and I'm into that thing. And I love that about her. Like she's such a weird kid, and I appreciate it so much. And I feel like again, it's like the risk. It's like the putting yourself out there. And
but she has had haters since Jump Street.
Yes.
Jump Street. Now these people that you're talking about, are they comedians or in the comedy field?
They're not in the comedy field.
Are they people that we know?
They're non-performers.
Is this more of your mom's club?
They're friends of mine.
Yeah.
They're friends of mine. Okay. But there was just me and one other woman going like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? It was
Put me on this friend group.
It was such a big like gap where it was like an extreme love to extreme hate. I think you can't be wishy-washy on Lana as well. Like either you're into it or you're not is very possible.
Well, there's also blowback against her because she married the alligator man, who a lot of people assume is MAGA. And then they say, go ahead, Lana, you could be the queen of MAGA. And then MAGA said, no, we don't want her.
We don't want her. We don't want her. She's a weird kid. But
some people are mad she just got married.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, like, she's always had, like, a character that she's kind of putting forth. And I think that that's fine. Some people are just like, who is she really? Like, she first came in acting like she was like white trash existence, but she was actually a rich kid. And then she was like, I grew up on hip hop. And then she turns around and she's like, actually, I'm a biker chick. So what? She's creating a character to sound with each album, and I appreciate it. Okay? It doesn't matter that it's real or not real. She's a creative sort.
Look, you said it from the beginning, she's not for everybody. Now I'm going to say it's up to you. Is this a red flag? Like, Chris, could you stay friends with these people?
No,
I would
excommunicate
be out.
them.
You'd be done.
Them. Done. I'd be
You're
like,
moving
no,
on.
Never
Chris,
talk.
You're friends with just like straight up degenerates. What are you talking about?
Yes. And he loves
Lana
them.
Del Rey.
But if one of them quit drinking,
Then no, he'd be out. He'd be like, this is weird.
Fucked My Way to the Top's a fantastic song.
no, I love her, but I could say it. I've always saw that there's people that don't like her from the beginning. Chris calls that a red flag, and he's out.
You know what?
He's
As
done
another
with you
thing
people.
too is like as her first kind of hit came out, video games. There was something about like her, like she was like a pretty girl, but she kind of had like the pick me girl vibe or something like that. And some women just like did not jive with it, and they were
No,
just
they
like,
hated her. But
yeah.
can I tell you? I was there for the first Lana Del Rey, and I've had her on the show many times. Ricky Lee Jones.
Oh,
And
love
everybody
her.
was like,
Yeah.
oh, Ricky's fucking fake. She only says she's doing heroin. Oh, Ricky's fake. Even Tom Waits can't put up with her heroin habit. You know? No one ever, she was never part of anything except for being in my heart.
Yeah, she's cool, and she's always been cool.
She's always been cool. Stanley says he's ready for the next person to run for president. And it looks like, the Dems are already losing alpha males again by the day. So who are you after here, Chris?
So the Pope can run for president. We got an American Pope. He is an American citizen out of Chicago. What if we had a Pope president?
That's too much.
Yeah, because first of all, don't you feel like he's achieved the literal top of what his goal was?
But here's the thing. He did get it after it mattered a lot less. Mm-hmm. Like the Pope is not as big as the Pope used to be. By the way, he would get 0 votes because the Proddies fucking hate Catholics.
Yep. I was going to say, look what they did to our... Well, I guess Biden was Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
Right, that's
treated him
true.
like he wasn't a Christian.
Yeah, that's true. They treated him like garbage, and then you know what they did to the other. Although we don't know because, Michael had a setup for maybe we could go back and take a look.
Have you heard this thing with Hunter Biden that they want to set up that UFC thing that they're doing at the White House where Hunter Biden would fight both of the Trump kids, the 2 oldest boys, and I'm going, Hunter, are you fucking high again?
No shit.
I mean, how is this helping anything?
I
can't do this.
I saw that and I was just like, what are we dealing with, the fucking Jake Paul brothers? Like, come on. Like this,
And
I
yet,
can't deal with this shit.
I will watch if it's
Yeah,
the
of
two
course I'd
brothers.
watch.
I mean, how can they? Here's the thing: the Trump brothers can't win this because A, they beat up a crackhead, and it was like, you fucking idiots, or B, they get beat up like by a crackhead.
and I feel like
there's no
feel
win.
like they would. Yeah.
And if I was Barron, I'm like, why aren't I part of this? I'm 20 now.
Why can't I'm a
Yeah.
man? Can I get
My
in the
mom
ring?
was on Epstein Island. Why can't I fucking come out and do some stuff?
I mean, you
reach
could
of it?
imagine. Yeah, like those limbs of his are pretty long. I mean, I don't know how much power
Yeah, but-
is behind that scarecrow, but
That's exactly the problem. I mean, the guy was
Yeah.
never an athlete. And he didn't have a dad to put a basketball in his hand. And let me
Right.
tell you, you don't have to be that good if you're 6'9" to start in high school. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shit.
You just
Right.
get you just get your hands in the air and then you wave them like you just don't care and you're the defensive player of the year.
Yeah, at that height, he's good for 12 boards a game. Easy.
But did you see that he's coming out with a new soft drink?
no.
no.
I
There's
think it's called
Baron
Trump
booze.
Cola or something. I don't know what it's going to be. But it seems like a crazy thing to get yourself into. I mean, there's just so many different beverages these days.
I've seen it on Shark Tank. They're like, you don't want to get involved with the cola wars. There's certain industries that it's just like you're either choosing to be small and niche or you're out. You know what I mean? Like you're not ever going to be a top competitor. And so for that reason, I'm out.
Here's the reason. Though Pepsi and Coke own the floor spaces in supermarkets, they pay for floor spaces. So that's why you go through. You see, like, oh, here's a bunch of Pepsi. Here's a bunch of Coke. Hey, what's this? One little can of an RC Cola?
Right,
I'll take
exactly.
What's his soft drink, Chris?
All right, it's called Solos, Sollos, and it's
I already
yerba
love it
mate.
because it sounds Spanish. It's
It
what?
does sound Spanish. It's yerba mate. It's like a tea, I guess. It's like a tea drink.
I mean,
What do you mean?
I don't know if it's a tea. I don't think it's a tea.
All right, they're gonna have a 12. There's the first thing they're putting out is a 12-pack
Do you feel
pineapple and coconut.
Do you feel like maybe the word we're looking for is like a mate? Like, I feel like it can't be mate.
It's yerba mate, a bitter herbal tea from South America. It's got
to be mate. Like pronunciation wise, it's got to be yerba mate because there wouldn't be like a mate in a Spanish word.
Deb just sent me a thing. It's an Argentine type of tea, but very different from our tea. And then she said, Gail has nailed it. Gail is exactly what Gail is talking about. Is this?
Yes.
Yeah. Deb, you've drank this down in Argentina?
Yeah, yerba mate is drank by leaving all the leaves in the water, and then you have a straw that has a little strainer inside the straw. And it's also very social. They pass it around and you share it.
Why?
And then we're going to have that in a soda drink with the leaves all floating around? I don't think this is
all the
gonna
leaves around.
What's
it? But why would he think that America's been waiting for this?
We haven't
probably some sort of scam, and they'll manipulate the stock.
Why do you have to be disparaging, Chris? Why can't you get behind the young man's new business?
I'm not getting behind that tall weirdo. I mean, he's great with computers.
Come on.
He's an expert, really, Chris.
That I respect.
When I'm drinking yerba mate and we're passing around the room, I'm going to go like this. Not for him. Do not give it to Chris. Chris does not get the yerba.
Just let me get a little bit of that mate, man. Why is he doing this? This is insane.
It's just a nice business. I guess he was down in Argentina. He saw everybody fucking killing it. He's like, I should take this back to the 48.
The 48.
Once the Pope's president, this is not going to fly.
The Pope is never going to be president.
He doesn't even want to be, Chris. Like, he literally wanted to be Pope, and then he got it. Like, that's what he wanted.
He felt like he was threatened after he wrote something about, be nice to immigrants.
Yeah.
And I don't know who it was. The State Department showed up. And then he was supposed to be here next year, and he goes, I'm putting it off. He goes, I don't want to go back there while Trump's there. I think he'll try to get me.
Yeah.
Look,
so he's no interest in this.
From the Epstein files, we know this, that class of people fucking hate Catholics and the Pope.
They hate Catholics.
They hate them. It's weird.
Well, they've never been fond of the Catholics. Look, the Catholics have done a lot of bad stuff. I can't defend them.
Yeah.
Sure.
Some of the stuff they've done with kids. But now when we see how many Protestants have done it, you know what I mean? We're all on the same playing field.
And others. I mean, I'm just trying to think. This might be the only thing that unifies the religions is victimizing children.
Might be the only thing that unifies power.
Absolutely.
It's like when you're about power, you just don't want it to end.
Do you feel like if Chris was a very powerful person, his morals too would be like completely like the only thing that stopped him from being on Epstein Island is not being born under the right circumstances?
I mean, the only thing that stopped him is he can't fly coach to that island. That's it.
Yeah. Like if he was a rich boy,
because he knows I'm right.
If he was a senator's son, perhaps, like I feel like he would have been there and he would have been partaking. And there'd be pictures of him doing weird shit.
Hey, Jeff, I can get you in with my dad. He's a senator.
Let me talk to Daddy about that, Jeff.
Look, by the way, look at fucking Hunter Biden's a fortunate son. And look how he's fucking acting. Just fucking smoking crack, fucking really distasteful hookers. He's swinging a gun around the same speed as his dick is flopping around. It's like, what the fuck is that? He's a smoking ace right there. 100%. He should be in fucking Reno this weekend.
And much like Michael's question of traveling through time, he was videotaping everything, Hunter. I mean, it's all on Telegram. I've seen his penis way more than some porn stars.
But do you know that he said he never had it on a laptop, that shit was hacked and then put on a laptop and into that weird thing, which, okay, if you are going to do these fucking CIA ops, that's a good one. Because who's going to believe a fucking crackhead? Hey, that's not mine. Yes, that's me. I fucking definitely did all those things, but that's not my laptop.
That's definitely not my laptop.
And
do you feel like it does?
Good.
Do you feel like it helps, though, like how many of the women who are involved with him were just like, he's a perfect gentleman, by the way. Like, really good dude. Very consensual. Like, at least he had that going for him.
He's a Navy man. He's an officer and a gentleman.
Yeah.
Basically, at the end of it, he tried to put his hat on the hooker's fucking head and carry her out of the fucking paper mill. Love lifts us up where we belong. That might be the happiest ending that people cried during.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because everybody was happy, but it was so romantic that he carried her out of his shitty job. Because that's what jobs were like in the early 80s. So everybody was like, that could happen to me.
I wish somebody would carry me out of my job.
It's all we've ever wanted.
Just someone to scoop us up and go, you don't have to be here anymore.
What? Another movie with a happy ending that I cried at. I was on a flight, but it was the American football, the movie about Kurt Warner when he wins the Super Bowl.
You've told us before that you cried when he won the Super Bowl, that you already knew that he won. You should have cried for what a short time he had at the top.
I feel like Amelie had a very like sweet, loving, happy ending. Like love works out. I feel like the last shot is them like riding together off in like the moped, and it's just like a beautiful story of finding.
Spoiler
love.
alert! You know I've never seen this movie.
I know, but it's
I'm
very
dying
old.
To see
it's 25 years old now.
I know, but I have an illness and I need to watch this.
Yeah, I really wish you would watch it. It is French, though, so you're going to have to read subtitles. I'm sorry.
No, thank you.
You have to. It's so whimsical. Can I tell you, Chris is dead on. The whimsy of this movie.
It's out of control.
She's a manic pixie dream girl, but it's her story. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like someone looking at her and seeing her thing. She's whimsical, but she's kind of invisible to the person that she's interested in. It's great. It's a very good story, and I think you should watch it and read it. Watch and read.
So I was thinking about this the other day of like how quickly actresses' careers come and go. You know what I mean? Yes, they're shorter than a man's career, but they go up faster than any man's career. And I went back. And you could look it up if you like to. Ooh. Charlize Theron, right? Mm-hmm. She had done some fucking weird, like, horror flick that nobody, like, not a single person saw in 1995. And then in 1996, she did 2 Days in the Valley, and she did That Thing You Do in the same year. In both those movies, people went, what the fuck?
Right.
Is that even a real person? Or are we 30 years ahead of AI generated?
Right.
And then in like a year after that, she was in that movie about the devil being
Devil's
a fucking
Advocate.
Warrior. Devil's Advocate. And she was like, like box office from that point on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But there's always that weird thing where you see that person and you're like, I don't know how good of an actress she is, but I'm about to make her a movie star right now.
Yeah, she's What a like ridiculous beauty she is.
Still,
doesn't even make sense.
All
Yeah,
these years
absolutely.
later, what are we? 30 years later?
Yes, she's so stunning.
Cameron Diaz too was like that. Mask was her first film.
Mask was a film that
Yeah.
when you're watching Mask, you're like, "What the fuck is this?"
This
You know?
just isn't real.
And then, like within a few things, you're like, "Yeah, she's cute. Yeah, sure."
Yeah,
But Mask, forget about it.
yeah.
And like, why aren't her and Jim Carrey ever doing like, "Hey, it's been 40 years since Mask. Let's come out and fucking," you know?
Because I feel like that film is more fun than people gave it credit for at the time. Like, I get it was peculiar. It's kind of a weird premise, but look, they pulled it off.
Yeah.
I think they pulled it off.
Only there was 3 movies in a row that Jim Carrey did, all in the same year. That I dare you to find another person who could have turned that into 3 fucking successes. Oh, I know why. 0.
Yeah, because none of them on paper are like a normal movie or even a typical comedy. You know what I mean? Where you're like, yeah, that sounds great. Like if someone gave you the premise of those, you're like, what is this? Some fucking silly shit?
Here's the weird thing. Mask is probably the most believable.
Yeah.
Out of the 3, it's probably the closest you
Right.
could come to a normal movie.
Right.
Of those 3 characters, like just the character in the film that he plays, that's the only person. Like he's just a guy with a job and
he's-
a dog.
Right. Exactly. Milo.
Milo, love Milo.
In the other 2 movies, he belongs in a fucking insane asylum.
Or at least some sort of home care situation at the very
By the way, you know how broke you're going to be if you're a pet detective?
It's not going to come up a lot. It's not coming up a lot.
His debt must be out of control.
Because most of the time, it's not because of kidnapping. It's just they're just lost.
Yeah, he's just got out the goddamn-
That's true.
Like, very few times is it kidnapping.
I have kidnapped your dog.
What the fuck?
Who's the famous person whose dog got kidnapped and then the person
Oh
who
my
brought it
God,
back,
yes.
they found out was a kidnapper?
Oh,
Yes.
Lady Gaga.
Hold- Yes. Oh my God.
Poor
Yes.
dog.
She needed a pet detective.
She actually, there's a circumstance where we actually needed a pet detective. And he would have figured out that that person who got the money was definitely going to be the culprit.
Was Ace Ventura a former cop or just a guy who worked with cops to find them?
No, he wasn't a
I
former
don't.
cop. He
I
had
don't
no
think there was
police
anything.
training.
I mean, I don't think there's a department that would ever
No.
hired Ace to.
They thought he was an idiot, and they didn't like they treated him like shit, Chris.
Well, he was also transphobic.
Oh yeah.
Right, but we didn't know that yet. I mean, first of all, she was just mean to him and called him pet dick all the time.
That's good.
I know, but why would he act so terrible to kiss?
You know what? You're right. And I feel like, honestly, that was a little out of character because I actually feel like Ace would have been like, okay. Like, I think he actually would have been fine with the fact that she was trans.
It's Jim Carrey that wasn't fine with it.
Yes, that's what I think. I think he went to the director. Let's change this where I just start gagging, and,
Violently
like crying in the shower.
It was
Acting.
funny the way he was crying like that. and
Yeah,
kneeling
I
down.
mean, nude, crying in the shower in the fetal position because just look, he kissed and grinded up on him a little. Who cares?
I'm going to tell you this, and I can't say it for the air, even though it's 100% truth. And I know about it. I don't think he's ever talked about it. But a comic that we all know, he hooked up with a girl one night in a bar or whatever, or maybe after the show. And then the next day, guy's like, hey, I didn't know you were into trans. And he's like, what? And then he acted like he was a victim of sexual assault. And
What?
he went into a deep depression. I'm not saying that he kept talking about it because he didn't tell most people, but I was told.
Do you feel like what's the rule on that? If like when do people have to disclose? If they're a woman living as a woman and perhaps they're a trans woman, when do they need to disclose it for you that you would feel like it's appropriate?
I mean, I think they should be open about who they are. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think because they don't know who the other person is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or what his weirdness is. And I mean, there's some men, even to this day, that would react violently to that.
That's a
so
good
I think
point.
for their own safety.
I love that point. That for their own safety, they probably should disclose early on and in a public space where, you know what I mean? Like before things kind of, I hadn't really considered that.
Like
but
at a
yes, for
Starbucks?
safety. Sure. At a Starbucks, perhaps. Over
Waffle
some,
House? I don't know. I think there could be a gang thing there. I feel like Starbucks is going to be a more accepting environment.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because at the Waffle House, you could throw a chair.
Yeah.
That's good.
Get away with it.
So I'm going to say this comedian, who is considered a progressive by a lot of people, acted very much like a young Ace Ventura and took it very, very hard.
Could you perhaps text me the name?
You will,
'Cause I just wanna know
I'll do
for
it
my
right
own.
now, but
Good.
I don't let Stanley know because he is loose lips.
Oh my God. He's
lips
such a
are
gossip.
tight. Okay.
Why when
Tight.
you said my lips are sealed instead
Yeah,
of singing
it's like
that song?
you didn't
would have
need to
gotten
say
it.
tight.
Now, for me, if I'm not a violent man, so if I was in that situation, I think the reveal would have to be like if it gets to a point where underwears start coming off, then I'd be like,
But
they
if
have
you
to stop me.
received, you feel like if you received oral sex from a person
Yeah.
who was a woman, who was a trans woman,
Yeah.
you wouldn't feel like they had lied to you in some way because you're
I
like,
mean,
the genitals weren't involved.
I'm going to say this, Chris. You should be open that you're the type of person who says underwears. Because if I found out I was with a person who said underwears,
yeah.
I am so shocked at the name you sent me. I'm
Yeah.
so shocked right now. Like, I think if you would have 20 questions me, I wouldn't have even come close. I
No,
don't
I
know
know you
why I'm
wouldn't.
so surprised.
now let me say this. It was a long time ago.
Okay,
So,
perhaps.
You know,
This is leaning
people
in as
could
though
change.
As
He's
though
like, he's
if he
coming
leaned
up
in
with clues.
closer,
Yeah.
that he would be able to understand.
Yeah.
Chris, look, you're not part of the text. I'm sorry.
You can't be
sorry.
completely trusted.
No, you can't be trusted because he'd go to Reddit
Trust
with
the
this.
Stan, man.
He's more like Dally. When Dally hears something, Dally
Yeah,
turns
Dally.
her head like your master's voice and just stays on the muddy mat the whole fucking time.
Oh, I love
Oh my
it.
God, she loves that money bet.
I don't blame her.
Great product.
She finally had something for herself.
She did. That's very true. And I will say that's the best part of a rescue dog. Is they're just like, this is great. I mean, this is amazing. He used to
Yeah,
live on the
that's true.
street.
I have a question about dogs related to cats. Now, do dogs like the toys you buy them, or do they prefer playing with garbage?
They love the toys.
See, here's the thing. And I'm going to reveal something. I've gotten into it with my lady about this because some days I'll just be home. There's an Amazon package and some elaborate fucking cat toy. When I know the cats just like empty boxes and fucking playing with.
They do.
They're stupid.
Toast's favorite toy is a piece of thin metal with cork on the end of it that I just fucking flap at him and he loves it. It's like it's a device that costs
Did you
fucking
create
7 cents. No, it's 7.
Okay.
Cat trees we've gone through in this house.
Here's
Ditching them and
here's
buying
the
new
thing
ones.
about dogs, right? So the dogs will have their toys, but keep them in wherever their area is. Like
Yeah.
they take them and they have like a little pile
Right.
of the stuffies that they chew on.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and because Dolly's new, and I have little children, she's a little confused how there's some some stuffies that are for dogs and some for children. She goes, "This looks exactly like my stuffy. Why can't I do this one?"
Why is everybody
and
yelling?
it's confused. Yeah, why are you getting upset that I ripped the eyeballs off of this thing? Who cares? That's very funny. Like, that concept is very funny, but also, like, Dolly is a very specific person, very different than Birdie. Like, it's a very different personality. But she is gonna, like, if there's an object, an inanimate object that she could pick up and move to a different place, she will do it. And, like, there's no reason for it. Sometimes you just see her walking across the living room with, like, the most ridiculous thing in her, just like a book. And she's like, found this book. And you're like, what are you doing with that? So, like, like, why? What did you want to deal with this? But the other day, I had never seen a dog do this. I'm sure other dogs do, but it was so funny to me. I had a cup of, like, water that was sitting on the edge of, like, the ottoman. And she just passes by it like, oh, cool. Picks it up, like the edge of the cup, in her mouth, and then jumps onto the couch with it. It goes spilling everywhere, and she's like shocked and upset. And I'm like, you picked up a cup. She looked at me like, I didn't know there was gonna be water in this thing. Like, I just thought it was an object I was allowed to pick up.
I think when a dog gets a dirty look on their face, like just a look of shame, like you'll see those videos where like, who got into this trash, and the dog is just looking so like, fuck.
Oh fuck,
this
me,
is
man.
bad, man.
Because that's the funny thing about dogs. Like, deep down, they're people pleasers, right?
Yes.
But they give into their own nature. So they're like, oh man, that garbage smells good. I got to get in that garbage. Then their parent comes in and is like, what did you do? And they're like, oh my God, I'm a piece of shit. You're so good to me. And like, I did this. Fuck, man. I want to change. I really do. Like, they have shame.
Real shame. My favorite one is like, you'll see stuff where the trash will be all over the floor, and the mom comes in and is like, who did this? And the dog looks so guilty. And then a little kid will be like, Mom, that was me. I got into the trash. And I just started throwing it around.
I chewed up all these eggshells all over, and that was me. My bad, because I don't want the dog in trouble.
And I love it just because it shows how early a child will lie to their parent.
Oh, yeah.
People like, the great thing about children is they're so honest. They are not honest.
No, they learn. You know? Yeah, and also, and some are and some aren't. Like, they're people. Like, they have personality types.
But
so there's like a kid of yours. Yeah, like there's a kid of like that might turn around and be like, "Oh my God, I got to tell my parents the truth about this," and the other one is like creating an elaborate lie in the moment, just being like anything to get out of this.
And that's what Chris is trying to get out of a cat, and there's none of that connection. A cat doesn't care.
No,
the cat has no shame.
Yeah, a cat doesn't care that it's disappointed you.
There's a cat personality type where it'll just jump on shit. And slowly, as it's looking at you, push something off the fucking table.
That's a really weird cat trait. And I had a roommate with a cat who used to wake me up by like hitting things off of my dresser. Yeah. And then I would wake up and be like, what? What do you want? And then he would just stare at me and really slowly start to push something off. And I'm like, you're fucking with me? Like, on purpose? Like, what are you getting off on this for? You're sick.
Because they are in charge.
Yeah.
No one tells them what to do. They hate authority.
They do. They really hate authority.
Having a cat is like adopting, let's say, Abby Hoffman. And you bring him into your house. And all he's looking for is revolution.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Some people just want to see the world burn.
Cats. And it's cats. Oh, man, another thing with those dog shame videos is when people have multiple dogs and, like, the ones that don't look guilty, they're just sitting there like, I know it's not me. My conscience is clear. Then they cut, like pan over to the guilty dog. And sometimes those other dogs would be, like, straight staring at him. Like, you better tell that it's you because I'm not going down for this. I'm a good boy.
That's true. They don't look ashamed or even worried about the other dog. All right, that is it for us today. We're back in here tomorrow. I'll just say stay safe, stay cool, and we'll see you tomorrow.
My baby lives in shades of blue, blue eyes and jazz and latitude. He lives in California too. He drives a Chevy Malibu, and when he calls for me, not for you. He lives for love, he loves his drugs, he loves his baby too. But I can't fix him, can't make him better, and I can't do nothing about this strange weather. But you are unfixable. Can't break through your world, 'cause you live in shades of cool. Is unbreakable. My baby lives in shades of cold.